your life do you need to be happy? How much do you need to be happy? See, we feel like we're going to die. We feel like we're going to, lose an arm or a leg if some of the things in our lives or the material possessions in our lives are taken away. Or we think, if I don't have TV for a week, if I don't have my phone for a day even sometimes, that I'm going to freak out. I'm going to go crazy. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Well, we're used to it, for one. We're used to it. We know that it is the main form of communication right now with other people. But why is it so hard for us to accept that? And we always view it in a negative light. Like we think, wow, I don't have my phone. The first thing we would do, we'd probably freak out more with losing our phone than sometimes losing a person in our life. I mean, that's terrible to say, but think about it. Think about how much you would freak out if your phone went dead today, or if you dropped it in the toilet and it didn't work. You'd be rushing to the store to get a new one right away, right? You would, guaranteed, instead of being like, okay, I don't need that for today, I'm good. Why? Because it's scary to be cut off from communication. If you didn't have the computer, you didn't have the phone, you didn't have all the social media stuff, technology, what would you do? Would you freak out knowing that you don't know what's going on in the world, you don't know what other people are doing in the world, and you can't communicate? You're like, well, what if there's something bad happening? See, that's what we do in our brain. We're like, there's something big or bad, or, there's a hurricane coming and I don't know about it, I'm going to freak out. We freak out, right? Why do we freak out all the time? See, our brain always likes to go to the negative stuff, right? It always loves to go to like the gloom and doom and disaster. Or we think that because we can't talk to somebody else today that we're going to be very lonely. We just don't know what to do with ourselves if we can't go on Facebook or Instagram or something. I'm right to a certain degree, right? Not everybody's going to agree with this. They're going to say, well, no, I would love to go without my phone. I would too. I would love to go without my phone for a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Cut off everything. And, but by my own choice. By my own choice. See, that's the difference. If it's by our own choice and we want to just shut everything down, then that's okay. But if somebody were to take it away from us, and we're thinking about all the things we have to do, or all the people we have to connect with, or all the Instagram posts that we're thinking of, doing this week and stuff, that suddenly it has a different feel to it, right? It's different in our bodies. Suddenly we're rushing to the store to get our phone fixed or get a new one because it's not by our own choice. It's not by our own choice. So think about, what do you really need in your life to make you happy? Do you really need all the material possessions to make you happy? Or is that something that you just tell yourself because you're used to it? You're used to it. It's become a habit at this point. It's become routine. We see other people doing it. It's part of just society right now. It's so large. But do you really need it to survive? Well, the answer is no. I mean, we need the basics, food and water, right, to survive. So, people many, many years ago lived without phones. I lived without a phone for a long time, right? We grew up in the 80s. So I think it's interesting that our mindset or our brains are kind of shifting in this way. And, the goal of this video is just a quick little video just to make you think about it and analyze how many things you actually accumulate in your life. We accumulate all these attachments, right? So it's almost like we have like tentacles where we're just like grabbing onto things. And you'll notice like the bigger the house, or, the more money you have, the more stuff you tend to accumulate, the more clutter, right? Well, clutter weighs us down over time. So, it's good to every once in a while take a look at all the clutter around you. And I need to do this too because I'm guilty, and it's hard to release the clutter. I mean, I have things sitting on the bookshelf or on the shelf that I'm never going to use. It's got like dust on them. Why didn't I throw that away? Why can't I throw it away? Am I lazy? Well, maybe that's part of it. I'm lazy. I don't feel like cleaning it off because there's just too much clutter. See, that's the thing. You get to a point where the clutter becomes so much and you're accumulating so much stuff that it is hard to release it because it feels very overwhelming. So, it's like some people do spring cleaning, or they wait until it just gets more and more and more and more before they decide to just purge, right? And just purge everything. But understand that takes longer. It's harder to do because it takes more effort. It takes more energy rather than every once in a while, analyzing what you have and being able to release certain things. So not waiting for it to just accumulate and pile up. It's like dirty laundry, right? It keeps piling up. And before you know it, you have to do like 10 loads of laundry and it's going to take you all day. Rather than if you did like 1 load a week or 2 times a week or something like that. So I don't know where I'm going with this. We're talking about clutter and just something to keep in mind. Relating to what we actually need and what we can let go of, the material things we can let go of. A lot of it is, it's the psychology behind it. It's a mind F because we think that we need more than we actually do. We do. We think that we're going to be very uncomfortable if we don't have certain things, but realize that has become a habit. It's because you're attached to it. You formed almost a relationship to something. It's like we form a relationship with our phones in some sense, right? It becomes part of us, literally becomes part of us, like growing out of our body part because we can't let go of it. It's very difficult. But if over time we can analyze, kind of take a inventory, that's the word I'm looking for, of everything we have, and really pay attention to what do we actually need, What do we actually need? Don't wait for it to pile up and accumulate, because then it's going to be harder. It's going to be more overwhelming to get rid of it all. So on that note, I don't know if this was helpful or not. I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little today. But have a great day, everyone, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.